SMC etie Ghana mampani Yera John Dramani Mohammed ne wono so akasa e de ato dwa so wono so yakuani ni bi ene nti akuafo ya wo mokoko e ho nsem ai bibie wo no ote saa ya oni bi ene nti omunya botre mpanifo de hihye egu akwemo Yera Felix Kwachi Fosu akasa a kire se oman ni ye hihye ese koko no a eya ye fa ne saa ne de akonkofo amaso akoton ne ye bedada mu Ghana heya eno beboa de mfaso e de abarishmama oman no akwakotua eye ensi ho 10 billion Ghana cedis bia DDP a eye no ho interest no we ni nsem afoforo pinu aka ho e na anope ye de somo se ye no ndubre mu Kasiebo Taw mi amagebre e somo din ya no jeso ene ama poma checheku afei yenhye ensem no ase every Ghana mampani Yera John Dramani Mahama natna ye na enra mampani kopie mo wo Ghana tree crop diversification project wo modwumadi ba akwase na wana mampani dia kwakoto dwa ya wo kyerese ene oman no wo pe akomapa no ho so obehwe ama eba tree crop ede ho dwumadi wo magane mo a betumi aboa pejemo na etumi ejan na so na wasa project no ase no $2 million America sikan ya efi World Bank ho we World Bank support fund and ode ba beboa bie ama ye kasa akuafo be sempemaduasa 30,000 dem womo etumi enya so faso na afefie be se empem aduonum mienu 52 so womo etumi enyemo emfaso den na Ghana mampani ode atudwa ya wo kye se Ghana akuafo mo bre enye kwa e wosa hihye yase no adokodoko de bebre wo ho ya wo nsa ebesoso ni nyina so obebo apia aban no ama aban no agina baby.
And so our tree crop strategy supports both economic and ecological transformation. Today, therefore, I officially relaunch and accelerate the Ghana Tree Crop Diversification Project. Under this $200 million World Bank supported program, 7.8 million cashew seedlings, 2.3 million rubber seedlings, and 3.9 million coconut seedlings will be distributed to over 30,000 farmers. And I hope that you here will be part of the 30,000. 52,775 households will benefit directly from the program, with 185 small and medium enterprises receiving matching grants. I've directed the Tree Crops Development Authority and Cocoa Board to expedite implementation of this program. Our farmers must see results, not paperwork. My administration is committed to expanding Ghana's export base and leveraging the African Continental Free Trade Area. And tree crops will position Ghana to supply the West African markets, access Middle Eastern markets and Asian markets, and expand processed exports and reduce foreign exchange vulnerabilities. Our 2035 ambition remains 12 billion annual exports, which will translate to 2 billion per crop. So for all the crops mentioned, from coconut to cashew to rubber, we expect $2 billion in export earnings from each of these sectors.
Ghana mampani Yera John Dramani Mahama no na owie wa mananso wa woto ase de to dwa kire se wono ebekua adwuma na ni ko won papa ne se nto obesre na nanu wasta nkonwa wo mo won sase o miamia hodo se ya wo mo ma wo mo nsase no yemfa nye kua adwuma bebre na emmoamen konkan no wo kire se nanu kokko akuafo ense bi ba ye dodo no ane kasa no no se we kokko kuani kokko no wo bi enti atenka ya akuafo ni nya ne sa atenka kro no a onya bi na nsu de nyina mu no abane ye nhihye se de be ye ba kokko akuafo mo sikasem ene wo mo yedie ho nsem a obehwe no atu ho anamo.
Two experiences. One, the son of a farmer. My father was at one time the biggest commercial rice farmer in Ghana. And so I grew up on the farm. And so for me, agriculture is a passion, it's a hobby. And I just love to see crops grow. Aside from that, my second experience is I've traveled far and wide. And sometimes I visit a country and my colleague president invites me to visit his farm. And I've been impressed with what they do. I mean, public servants, ministers, every weekend, if you go to East Africa and other places, you better not make an appointment with a public servant on a weekend because you won't get him On Friday, they leave to their farm, they come back on Monday and go to work. And so what Andy was saying, it's in line. Public officers, ministers, MPs, traditional rulers especially, because they are the custodians of the land. One of the major hindrances to tree crop development is access to land. And so traditional rulers especially, should take an interest in this initiative of promoting tree crops. So in whatever geographical area of the country you are, if it's in the north, a shea nut plantation, if it's in Brongahafu area, cashew, if you're in western region, rubber, cocoa, and if you're in Dodoa area and other places, mango. And so all of us must take an interest in the agricultural sector, and especially in tree crops. I want to thank Nana Kwebo. Andy referred to my own tree crop farm. Nana Kwebo gave me 50 acres of land, and I planted cocoa on the 50 acres. So I'm a cocoa farmer. And so when the price was reduced by government, it affects me too.
Gari ama pani yera John Dramani Mahama no ye jina okoko ne ho nsemu ano enra edom kuma ba no da for Ghana ma shebe Jamira Alexander Penyo Marken wo jina ne naso eso de sebi betu Ghana ma shebe dwafie nsemu ano wo kanyina ye se ho be hia se Dr. Kasiebo Taw for sen ya wona ye soafo a o hwe ma Ghana sika sem tutu ye nsem so ne ye betwe ne nsamanko edna piemu e wo mra shebe dwafie ho na nsem ni wi ho a ye bisa de san so hu ne se koko nsem no aba no ye national issue ya e wo se fa ne serious pa ne senti Dr. Kasiebo Taw for sentiment na ne office na won keka nsem na emom e wo so ba mra shebe dwafie ho na nsem ni bi e wo ho e wo so mo bisa na on bisa wo de ho anu yie eba.
Mr. Speaker, leader. Mr. Speaker, leader. This is a House of Parliament, a platform of the people's representatives. This is where we discuss national issues. Mr. Speaker, the majority leader is telling the country that government policy can be announced anywhere, and my finance minister is not obliged to come to the House of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, the cocoa farmers in Volta region, in Ashanti region, in Bono, in Western North, Mr. Speaker, they have been denying honorable members their earnings. But Mr. Speaker, if the finance minister does not come, if the majority leader will not bring the finance minister, we the minority will use the appropriate laws available to us to summon the finance minister. Thank you. The cocoa farmers cannot be about.
Where you're Alexander Penyo Marken no one that don't kumana no na penny akwa shebe dwam adom kese no da no mama yaga one ejinamo edema Dr. Kasiebo Taw for say ensemi na dru nanim to the whole krata ma na yese onu nso nyina mra shebe dwafie na won kamana no wode atodwa wo chese koko nsem no a ekame akwese dom kuma no wodon peso mo de yamanyosem no kwasem ne se afi watumi aba beka ho asem.
The MPP doesn't have any political message for Ghanaians and is hoping to revive or resuscitate their politics using cocoa farmers. But that will not work.
Today's statement didn't go anywhere.
Mr. Speaker, what the minority leader is doing is a clear indication that today's attempt to use cocoa farmers to do politics failed.
He wants a second chance.
So he wants a second chance. He wants a second chance. Because if he had succeeded, he will not be looking for a second opportunity. But you've already made a statement. We have copiously debated the statement. There is nothing more that the finance minister can come and add. So let's leave it there. As for government policy can be announced anywhere. Once they are approved in cabinet, the Minister for Communication announces them. In this instance, because it is under the Minister of Finance, that was why the Minister for Finance announced the policy. So I don't think that the Minister for Finance will have to come here to come and answer questions or make statements or provide any clarification. If you wanted, you could have asked a question, but you
Yera mama yaga no one yes penny akwa mra shebe dwam a Oda edom kese na no yento ansem no so ye kasa de aban aba mani a che Ghana nyina ese se wo motua 10 billion Ghana cedis we interest ya na eda domestic deficit program DDP no a ye no na ese wo hwemu a eye anamon kese pa ya mpanifo wo mo etu Dr. Kasiebo Taw force sikasem sofo e wo my Ghana mu anopai e na odi mu amandebo eba montia wode etu edwa no se wo share ASC's coupon settlement no a ehye DDP no ase a we na beka se etoso mienu a wo mo nsa ka wo mo sika ya che so how bia eni atwe na waba amane a wo kire se nhihye bia mpanifo ehwese saa eka na abeda ho enam se yesi ye haircut a ekowi achi ni atwa bi no musakura nom ne eka ho no ebetumi ahwe na yede ayi ni nyina ede afri on timprempri a ye kasa de abaya na monto ya woto wo se wo hwe amesi kasem nhihye etumi agina yie na ayepem no ebi enonom isayo sunti ye kasa de 10 billion ye no ye interest anansi achi ba no a na ewo sa DDP ne ho nom aban ebo mu amane se wo mo atwetwea ni nyina ye bekoye ni mu Kasiebo no emu na soafo na hwe omaga na yakwan ene ye nkwantempon eho ensem so yewura governs Kwame Agboja ene wodi atudwa sa aban ye nhihye se wo mo ede electronic tolling system beba kanena yetwa toll se wo Ghana kwantempon ahodo so MPP se de be ye ye afro ne de e-levy aba ekowi achi ye hunu ho nsem na aban se wo mo dwene ho so mo de electronic de we ye mfo obi nkotena ho ne no ho nsensem akwa ye bebre udru wo so apewade a na wona wo sene no wona se drofo nkisa odie mu na yewura governs what is answer me tudwa.
Interchanges are quite expensive. There are interchanges in Ghana that are $100 million, $200 million, and things like that. And like I said on record, we spent a vast majority of our resources on interventions in Accra, Greater Accra region and Ashanti region. And that is where we take, for instance, the Pokwasi interchange. How much we spent on that? That could do a lot of road of feeder road in many districts and constituencies. But we spent it on that, on one interchange. Now, if you go and toll, let's say, 40 kilometers going to somebody's town, and you leave Pokwasi, and that road probably costs what, $20 million, and Pokwasi exists $80 million, $100 million, and you don't toll it, how fair would that be? Look at going to AC11. We spent money to build the Flower Port tunnel, and then now we build the Flower Port flyover, and then all that is an investment, and rightly so. So if you are tolling Accra to motorway without tolling the interchanges, you would have created a situation where some people, unless they use it, they may never pay. So it is a fairer way of generating resources. It is not a punishment for anybody, a fairer way of generating resources.
Yera governs Kwame Agboja we swafo hwegane yakwan ne yakwantempon sem so afi yemfe ani enche eyema probile ne importemo nkraba ese okopiemu ewo polyclinic ye wo ho a enra obi bayira ho amene ni braba paye nya semketu ene wo hwa adapa na etwegwo wo hospital no matna ya na se clinic na tna ye ho a na enya agro ni nyina ne se oba bia ba ya ne CS ye wa wawie afi akwada no so wa hene ye pede ba bia ye hunu nsese bebre no a ena na ekoso na ye bekọ ne assembly member ya wono ewo mamprobi ne importemo ye ne nakasa isanse nkra ye nya ne se akwada ne ye hunu no na sankra na bedi nanimu a emu nsem ne se honorable ya da se anopay se wo ne ye kasa ewo ye Kasiebo Taw dwumadi so
menzo modamase
yo anopay ye ne wakasa dada already XYZ so na wakasa fe na wokọ MP ho na one na akọkasa kire nkra ya che ne se akwada ne ye hunu minim de aba bedru wanim na what ya se eba ne se he ne ye che no ne ho nsese wada ma betumi a che mu kakra
nti medamase mo afre medium anapa ibe se 7 mu ho na mo amunia ofre me was TV radio SYZ so na me ni bon komo me maniti se enra anaju be se 7 mu 8 mu ho me phone calls be breba me nya find the papa na the bani ya no e bon komo just ofre me because of say me assembly member ho na metumi aboa no ama ya hwa asem no yie enti o mamiti asie se oba hospital wawo ni ba okitaba no nurse iba ni nchen se o or per se Yakoma Colani drew in see or no so or the Akolani ma nurse no. But what now for some time, one tea or moon cambium, or Bisano, your only pie or the Akolani ma wohonum. Yes, Akolana, yeah, at the end of the day. And I also want to see yes, in the Otuanamo and I offer authorities or more concern. War assembly no me say me danasi say oh yes I did because most of the time say assemblies are the one reporting in tema police for any authorities or mu in charge no or mu to me mba and the boawo nti papa no me bona mo say oh yes I did no nti off free me catch me catch him say quickly me free MP no nti me ma MP wo ha honorable Dr. Alfred the governor point me mo no so tie say assembly na aba nti yarengi ya na pa ite ye behia nti ye kwahia wo mamprobi MP office no quickly na ye na ye call Dansoma police station divisional command there wo hono ye da nyame ase time a me medru ho no na me hu say woman bi ya chino or otinasi one side any CID4 ena mami no so tina one side ena isa man of friend ni say ni ba no why we no so no so ho aye na yetina dan mu all the police e bo komo asemi na ni say nyame adom atumi aho akola no ena mami na oyi akola no so ya chi no sisi a our police for nchen ami no kasai but yenye no ye we assembly kanu quickly we say ye rush akola ni back to Mampobi hospital no na ye man medical attention into see am no kasa no mami no wo ba no any buy na omo Mampobi hospital children's unit this is here ye show omo under the supervision of hospital no being for no omo hwe no na ye wo ha no so gender minister wa ba ha MP wa shedu kete wa ba ha MP for Ablikuma West omo ina wo ha plus MP for Ablikuma South omo ina wo ha pin for no so omo ya dia pa ye da omo ina asi asemi me man so mean na si up and down no mean to me no asi
ehun hia ba
because asemi dey obi asem enye ni baba asem
but honorable me nim there we dey me ntwa so ba me sa we me nim say bia posifo na timi acheche mu akyerese bia baba wa no ye de ne baaye no watumi akyerese bia kwada no ofa no for purpose we ana ba bia wo mokɔkye woni akwada no nyina ye de no aba police station say so posifo nsem ye tumi akyere ba bia ye hu no ye fa no ne intent nti a wo de kɔfa akwala no free hospital ho
eno na me ben police for no na me decide say me ti asem we ase mama na den ontumi wu ana den omo amazo di say mama no wa wu batu ndi me decide say aden say wa wu batu a wo pe ba fufo aye den bi obi antumi hu but eno de ye be jama police for no na omo investigation omo nhwe adi potenti woman no obe yi akola no because me ti ase so obi a wo ni ba wo be separate mother from son for what reason
okay enti ye akoya ni mo no as an assembly member de akoye sie ne dodo no ade ani ebedi wachi hye ye bi wo hɔ bi a mo ye ne sesia because questions be bring na ekoso say enti oje akwala ne ko de free hospital ho akono na security fo ni ho ye ntumi amisa ne hwe otimi de akwala ne ko sa afi na nyame adom ye tumi akwakwatwe ne hye ye bi wo hɔ say going forward na bi a ompeso ane so ye betumi de agu akwan mu in terms of security a sempo ye hunu bibi se ya ye betumi atwe adwen asi so ntem na enkodru pepeso bi ansa na adwen aba so
enti bedasi enti eba no sa no mini Mampobi hospital head na kasa say as soon as possible no because of this incident no e say to me free meeting me also as assembly member no honorable Meshak Mensa Shoda no me chairman for security and justice for the whole AMA enti me makatche no say as soon as possible no the experts be on board. Now, you make sure say we are putting in measures. Obiaba hospital, very, very security tight. Say even normal security man or gate now no or no see the number share Jumanu. Obia say before our free hospital, no, you are clear one, son of a baby. They are clear one. You are not going in and out of the hospital for no reason. I said we are banu. even though you have to me and one, you shouldn't end there. I say you're making sure so the measures, you better put measures in place. So maternity ward, obi or hobiano, you should have an ID card, even as you're a worker. I say be teacher say who ye tomorrow. And so be priya free maternity hokra, a security man, I say over or be clear with say wabahanum ufria. I say me better near PF Alkitakola, even from that extent, Ubabon say be pay free main premises of the hospital. I say to me clear one, sir. And I can't be out soon baha a baby yen say chicano. Everybody should have a clearance. You better put these images into place. And I make us say you better involve even the normal security man at the gate, they should all be involved. And I mean can't do happen. Wow, so are we for now, Abia, we are Mamia Waba Hospital, no, making sure say Ukunu do wiki. Kenya Ukuna, Maubusia for no obedience to do wiki. Everybody should be on the vigilance. There will back now, Yabano, Yawunu. This very minute, I said the baby of Fabia will be any done so. They are commanded to grow or being the chinko. It's the patroness, a busia for a bia omumba, Eba hospital, deliver baby. For being the timbra, it shouldn't be only the husband and the wife alone. Say, oh, Niabia, Ombekano, Obia, Fanny Hushim. Now, Sebanisa, ask hospital no up with security measures in place, no. Family knows most more mobile personal security. It's a collective effort.
Okay.
Obian fan who shame. As me ban say a be a nurse and a doctor, almost year round, so almost year baby. But everybody should be vigilant. Obia everybody. Let's all get involved. By the dynamics is at the end of the day.
But honorable lady now far kwala no ye hu videos out to why I'm say police if only be say beside or you be out around and also what man probing potem and I would in your jurisdiction or you'll be on
the area moha.
Okay.
And there is the truth of the matter on the area moha. For disclosure, any location in the idea for now, police won't be about.
Okay.
Now my full details about that we know, but for sure on Tim and Probia, because on Tim and Probia it will be very easy for us to identify her. But on her and I'm out who face to face and you'll be to a warming area more.
Okay.
But for me sure security for no. I don't know the man is a report maybe.
Honorable ya na se wabo adwuma nso bibia be che bi mebeba ne no aba beto ankomo nsu da se pa.
Okay, miss me dance.
Enti assembly member ya wo no ewo mamprobi empotem ho ba bia ayasabia no ewo no na ye ne no ekasa ye nyame adom akwada ne hu no ababa wa no nso so fa akwada no munyina maboa be esan se fitie no ade ba ko social media so a CCTV footage ba kwa ye nyaye no dodo no aboa me circulate ya na jamu nyina madaroma yatumi akwakwachi ababa wa ntim ye Kasiebo edidi so mu ne ye ne posifo ye wo dansoma ne potem nso be kasa na ensem ne munchemu ankasa ba bia wode akwada ne ko ne adwen etachire esan se ye sie ne nipa bi no mu se da bi we die wontumi enye adwuma na se bia na inside bi wo ba bi questions abebiri no a ebisa nti brepam ye be kwode ne posifo akwakodi sa ensem no ho enkomo ha ne be ye de Kasiebo Taw no ndubre mu de ye de bae no ye de nyina ebesi ewiapem to brand nsem ne bebre na ka wachire ye beba ye de ababa so ye mfa seda e ma team ne nyina so oboabo adwuma medi ne ama poma checheku ya da mo ase ama mo ne hwe ama mo ne ti ade hwe